Welcome back to the College Cinephile. I'm Sydney Hatfield, and with me is Weston Davis. So, hi, Weston.
Hi, Sydney.
So, you graduated last May, and now you are working at the Alamo Drafthouse. So, can you tell me a little about your position at the Alamo?
Yeah, so I'm the creative manager at the Alamo Drafthouse in Lubbock. So basically how I've been describing it is I'm responsible for anything and everything fun that happens at the Alamo Drafthouse. I'm still very much learning my new position, but very fortunate to have graduated and then kind of a job fall in my lap a little bit. So
Yeah, and I know that earlier this semester you entered a short film and you won Audience Choice. So can you tell me about like the thought process that went behind the film Graduate?
Sure. First, I decided that I would make a short film for the Flatland Film Festival because the deadline was extended, and that was awesome because I was like, I don't know, it gave me a sense of urgency, and so I was like, I'm gonna make this. And I was actually still a projectionist at Alamo, so I wasn't like in my new position, which was a little bit more like it was sort of hands-on with dealing with Flatland Film Festival technical stuff at the venue at Alamo. But I just wanted to clarify that we made the film and submitted it and everything before I was like in my position, and then it was kind of like weird being on like the other side of things and them saying, you know, okay, well, these are the names of the films and these are the filmmakers, and I'm on that email and I have like my name on there and I'm like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing was like the main inspiration behind making that, like the main thing that kind of gave us the idea of doing this was I just graduated. I was working very part-time at Alamo as a projectionist. A lot of free time on my hands, and I kept wanting to go back to campus, but I like had self-control, and I was like, I'm not going to go back to campus. Like,
Yeah.
But we had this funny idea of like, what if there's this guy who, can't really give up being a college student, and he wants to go back, and he's like, and then he unintentionally like totally ruined something. And I just watched The Graduate like 2 or 3, not for the first time, but like I just watched it like 2 or 3 times in a row because I was like, that'd be interesting to recreate some of these scenes.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, I had an awesome team that kind of worked with me. I was able to kind of reach out to some former peers of mine, current peers. I don't know the correct terminology, but I was kind of able to like reach out through that like student film network and say like, hey, we've got 2 weeks. Can we make something? And then we all kind of met up. Me and 3 or 4 other people kind of met up at my apartment and started talking about like different ideas and hashing things out. And we kind of came up with this idea of the film Graduate, and it had like a dopey title at first, but some other working title. But so we just kind of all came up with this idea, and I said, well, we're going to have to make this thing in 2 weeks, so we need somebody that's pretty reliable as far as cast. I guess I'll do it. So that's why I'm the main character in the film, is just because I know I'm going to be there. You know what I mean? Because I'm using my camera and all my equipment and things like that. So.
Can you tell us a little about your experience here at Texas Tech? Like, for example, like why did you choose your major?
Sure. So I have a degree in electronic media and communication. I picked that because that was kind of the closest thing I could get to film school while staying at Tech.
Right.
And I just kind of had this vibe of like make it what you want it to be. Take all the classes you have to take, but definitely reach out to those extracurricular type opportunities and take advantage of those. I interned over at the PBS station here on campus, KTTZ TV, a semester before I transferred into Tech from South Plains College. So my schedule was kind of weird. I would, in the mornings, I'd come and work at the PBS station. I had like a Tech parking permit, and then I would drive 30 minutes over to Levelland and take my classes over there. And I actually had like a production class like on Tuesday, Thursday nights at South Plains. It was like a live music TV production course, I guess. And so I had that was probably the most fun semester I had, and I wasn't really at Tech yet. But it's because I reach out. I always tried to reach out and get those extra opportunities. And really make my degree what I wanted it to be. And it's really cool to be able to work at the Alamo because it is related to what I want to do eventually. And I can kind of see a certain side of the industry that not everybody gets to see.
Yeah.
And while I was a student, I was working as a projectionist at the Alamo Drafthouse. And I don't know why I said Drafthouse, like I added that in. But I was working as a projectionist there, and I actually worked as a projectionist long enough to be trained on how to run 35 millimeter film, because everything's digital now. So that was like a really unique kind of opportunity and kind of a mindset of like, okay, that's how film works. You know, like it wasn't always just hit record and save it to a hard drive, you know.
Right.
So it's pretty wild. I don't know. It's a unique kind of, my education has been very like multifaceted and very like all over the place with regards to filmmaking. I try to learn as much as I can from everywhere I go, and that way I can apply all of that back into what I love doing.
So my final question is, do you have any advice for undergraduates, either, you know, like EMC or just like, you know, in general, like in the College of Media and Communication?
Sure. I mean, I would definitely give the advice of like kind of what I was just talking about. Seek out those opportunities, make those connections with students, faculty, and then not just tech, you know, like reach out to some like local type of programs or communities or, you know, Texas Tech public media, obviously, you know, reach out to these opportunities and, you know, get an internship or, you know, do that stuff on your own, because then it comes in handy. I mean, I had the opportunity to, I had just transferred into tech, and I had the opportunity to go to Alaska to work as a production assistant, with KTTZ on Between Earth and Sky, and now I've got like a credit on that movie, which is awesome. But like, it's just because I seeked out that opportunity before I even started going to tech. I was like, I want to, you know, just hit as many nails on the head as I can, and then I can have all this stuff accomplished. And when people ask me, well, what do you have experience in? I can just automatically rattle off whatever I have. And then hopefully it makes me stand out over other people that may not have as much experience. So definitely I would tell students, like, seek out those opportunities, meet the people that have similar interests as you, and really kind of develop, nurture, and keep that sense of community here in Lubbock as far as filmmaking goes and student filmmaking, because that's like immensely important to all of our success.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the show today.
Sure.
And make sure to like and subscribe down below, and we'll see you next time on the College Cinephile.